Hello, welcome back to yet another long-awaited episode of A Little Bit Less Than Random with me, your host, Jason, and my co-host slash partner in crime,
Andrew.
Yeah, it's been a while since we've had an episode.
Yeah, I forgot how to do this almost.
Yeah, it's almost like COVID just almost shattered our dreams a bit of doing this podcast.
I know. We've been doing the Zoom version of this, so I think people maybe got spoiled with getting to see our good looks.
Yeah, I mean, we wanted to see my ugly mug in front of the camera.
I was going to ask you, so does Laura, I think I asked you this already, but I just thought this was funny. Does Laura buy all those expensive, weird, crazy soaps and conditioners and stuff?
I mean, like from Bed Bath and Beyond and stuff?
Yeah, those sorts of things.
Why would that be crazy?
I don't know. Jocelyn buys those things, and I was just thinking, it's like, how is it that you and I don't use any of those things, and we look so good all the time?
It's a short and simple answer, really. You ready? It's because we're men. That's why. If anything, I'm more focused on cologne and stuff.
They do sell these things now, apparently, for men, though. I don't know if you've seen them.
Scented hand soaps for men.
Not just that.
What?
Oh, there's that new one that everybody's doing on their podcast. In fact, maybe we should become affiliated with what is that? That lawnmower?
That manscaping thing? Lawnmower for your
ball this, ball that, ball.
Yeah. You can't say that. You have to use euphemisms here.
Oh, they go right out and say it, I think.
Yeah, the lawnmower manscape or whatever it's called. Trim the family jewels and whatnot.
Yeah. Oh, what were we going to talk about?
I don't know. Well, what's coming around the corner, obviously, is election.
Yeah. Okay, so you mentioned Coney Barrett.
Yeah,
how do you say her name?
And we said we weren't going to get political in our podcast, but yet here we are.
Wait, when did we say that?
I don't know. Whenever we said we didn't want to do it, you just don't want to bore the audiences.
Well, we have a mixture.
Politics.
A mixture, yeah. It's like the pop culture.
If anything, we'll make politics somewhat more easy to understand, so you don't have to.
Did you have a feeling about Barrett?
Other than I heard, and I'm not sure if this is accurate or not, but they threw it out there. Supposedly, it was said that she's against the Affordable Care Act, aka Obamacare.
Right.
And then Roe v. versus Wade. I don't know.
So I actually heard her talk about Roe v. Wade, and it didn't seem like she said that she would support the precedent that had been set by the court before. So I don't think that's a big concern. I mean, I'm not a fan of the Supreme Court being more conservative, but I have found that the Supreme Court has been getting more liberal in general over time, and she seems like a decent judge. Like if she had been picked by a Jeb Bush or any other Republican, I think people would be fine with her. I don't know. Did you have any thoughts on her other than that?
No, I don't know really what to think about it. I'm just neutral. It just seems like they seemed kind of reluctant just to get someone after Ruth Bader Ginsburg passed away. Right away, like they just, without little thought, I guess they just want to stir the pot just before Election Day, just to get people talking.
Well, in a way, it's a huge win for Republicans because that was one of the main reasons why people wanted to vote for Trump, was to swing the Supreme Court. Essentially, they're getting what they want, whether Trump wins or doesn't win. And I thought the Democrats really effed up because they should have argued a little bit better that 4 years ago, when Obama was about to elect a Supreme Court judge or to select one, and then they're approved by Congress, they said, no, we're in the middle of an election. And so if that's the precedent that's been set, if that's the modern precedent that's been set, well, we are, less than a month away from an election here.
Yeah, I guess it's just trying to influence, our decisions on, who to vote for. Oh my God, I really don't know. I really don't want to vote for either of them.
Oh, you mean Biden or Trump?
Yeah, exactly.
I got no problem voting for Sleepy Joe. I'm happy to go to.
What was that? Huh? But I don't know. I mean, between two old farts. I'm sorry, that's what it is.
They're the oldest president. Yeah, they will be the oldest presidents to ever be elected, right?
Oh my gosh!
And if Biden gets elected, he's certainly going to be a one-term president.
Yes, I mean, yeah. I mean, other than that, is Kanye in the ballot? Is he like the middle party? Is he the other party?
I don't know. I think his goal, if he is to try to take away votes from Trump.
Yeah, that'd be a waste of votes.
I don't think he'd be any better, though. I mean, I think we need real people with real ideas. And I'm not talking about Joe Biden. I think Joe Biden is really just the not... You're really essentially voting for the not Trump and for the people Joe Biden will surround himself around.
Yeah.
And the idea is, the goal is, like, if you go to somebody who's a moderate Democrat... I mean, Joe Biden is like voting for a conservative, right? I mean, conservative before Trump, and not the GOP's type conservative. I'm talking like the conservative like Hillary Clinton.
Yeah.
So he's kind of in the middle of the political spectrum compared to, obviously, a Bernie Sanders. And so in some ways, voting for like a Joe Biden is like saying, I just want rational conversation happening again.
Yeah, I'm tired of like the looning and ranting of Trump and his rhetoric. You know?
And the extreme positions. It's like, can we get away from the far left and the far right and just go right to being
the
able
middle,
to have
the perfect balance, harmony. Yeah.
Yeah, just being able to have a
like
conversation.
a perfect medium of just having a conversation. Like, I mean, I would have voted for Bernie, but
me too. Yeah, I think he would have been way better.
Yeah, I mean, for us youngsters, if we can call ourselves youngsters anymore.
Well, we're getting older, but
We're getting older, but yeah. But we sure have that mentality when we're young.
Well, I think in terms of where many millennials are at compared to their parents at the same age, I think a lot of millennials are still struggling. You know, things like their health care, things like owning a home, things like full-time work, regular work.
So who do we have to blame, the government or ourselves to not making ends meet?
Oh, I don't know.
Well, I mean, look at you. You have a roof over your head. That's good.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not perfect, though. You know, when living the life of an adjunct professor is certainly got its challenges. And as a musician, it certainly has its challenges. I mean, I started gigs again.
That's good. Yay.
Right. I went like 8 months without a gig.
Mm-hmm. 8 months.
I think I joked that I stopped playing music.
Yeah. So were you a bit rusty when you came back?
A little bit, yeah, actually. Probably still.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, do you have to wear a mask while playing the saxophone?
Okay, yeah.
Or you have to put it underneath the mask?
I actually wore, for the first few, because they were outside, I wore a face shield. And then recently...
New message received.
Sorry, folks. I thought I had this silenced.
It's okay. You're a popular guy.
You can edit that out.
I don't know. I'll leave it in.
All right.
So I wore a face shield, and then I cut just a tiny little hole so that the hole was underneath where my mouth was. Face shields are apparently even more effective than wearing a mask, and so I just played downward. And that seemed to work pretty well. After a while, since I was outdoors and I was pretty far away from people, I just decided to go without the face shield because it was just really hot. But, you know, it's not without its risks. I try to wear a mask as much as possible, but there certainly are risks.
Yeah. I don't know if in the last episode, did I talk about my COVID experience or not?
I don't know, but yeah, talk a little bit about that.
Well, in case I haven't already said it, yeah, it was fucking horrible. Not horrible in the sense that I felt sick. I mean, I did have it supposedly.
You were pretty asymptomatic, right?
I was asymptomatic.
Did you have any
No
symptoms?
No. Maybe just like a minor cough. Like, you know, like that feeling you got something on your throat and it just won't go away.
Right.
But like just like a very, very minor, itsy bitsy little. Other than that, I felt like if nothing really happened.
See, that's the thing that worries me because now that I've been doing a lot of the Zoom calls and the Zoom sessions, and just my general meetings are through Zoom.
Yeah, now we're back here at your studio.
I know. I feel like my voice has gotten a workout, and every single time I feel even the faintest tickle, which I know are probably related to the Zoom call, I'm worried that I might have gotten COVID.
Oh no! I mean, just by judging your voice alone, you think you have COVID?
No. Well, just that I can hear a harshness to my voice, and some of that comes with all the talking. Because when you're talking into Zoom, you're talking into a microphone, and you're trying to be heard.
Yeah, kind of sounds like someone we know who talks a lot and supposedly had COVID.
Who do we know that? Oh, Trump?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That whole thing was weird.
Yeah, 3 days, and it took me a month.
Yeah.
Even though I wasn't sick, But I did it for the greater good of protecting everyone
Well,
else.
he got like the best treatment, right?
Of course, he's the
possible.
fucking president of the United States. Of course, he'd have the best
Whereas
treatment.
if you or I get sick, I don't even know what kind of treatment we'd get. I don't know.
Well, treatment per se,
Probably.
I didn't
next
get
to
any
none.
treatment.
Right.
Who knows what he got if they gave him medicines or any
I'm
vaccines.
sure they gave him the best cocktail and they gave him some steroids too, right?
Yeah, he's like, I'm back. I'm better than ever before. And like, I don't know, but I'm back. Don't let COVID scare you.
Which is
The
awful.
China virus.
I know, which is just absolutely awful. I wonder if we're gonna get demonetized for saying COVID. Like, are we allowed to say those words now?
That's why we're calling it the China virus.
We're gonna get demonetized for that. You're gonna get canceled, Jason.
We're getting canceled. You hear that, folks? We're getting canceled. Definitely. That was my Trump impersonation.
Pretty good, actually. Well, we can't get demonetized because we're not monetized, and we can't really get canceled because nobody knows who we are.
Yeah, you can't get canceled if you're not popular, folks.
Although we have been thinking about expanding the podcast, and it will largely depend on listeners. If people
Yeah, it's
are
up to
into
you
it.
guys. If you guys are just tired of just workroom gossip, workforce gossip, whatever,
Turn on the random gossip from
turning on the random gossip from us guys.
Yeah, from a little
hopefully
less
we
than
won't.
random.
Yeah, we won't bore you as much.
Well, I'll bore you a little bit. I do.
He'll
promise.
bore you a bit, but then I cut him off eventually.
Yeah, that's why. Well, that's why we make such a good
Yeah,
pair.
yeah. We're a foil here. We're a contrast to each other.
So like I was thinking of, and I was looking into if anybody has some suggestions, maybe they can tell us ways to monetize. Where like instead of Patreon, where people pay you like
Don't
a
not say
subscription.
OnlyFans.
No, there's this one. Well, okay. If you want to see Jason on OnlyFans, message below because he's the one who's not married. So he might.
Don't listen to this
be
guy.
really-
He's trying to get me in trouble with my girlfriend here. Don't.
Well, I bet she would pay for your OnlyFans.
Yeah, I mean, but we need that money for rent. So that money's just going back to us.
Right. No. We're
Oh,
not
wait,
talking-
what is this OnlyFans you speak of?
Okay.
Anyway.
So actually, Jason and I were talking about what is OnlyFans. So I guess for those who don't know, apparently it's like a version of Patreon that had been set up like a competitor, but it got sort of taken over by people who want to sell like nude pictures, essentially, right?
Yeah, by sex workers.
But it's not just for that, right?
Originally, its intent was for other things.
For just like be another Patreon. I think I saw one that was like buy me a coffee. I think that might be something.
Buy
that
me
would
a
work.
coffee.
Yeah, and so basically, if somebody wants to think like, well, I'm just going to give a few dollars to buy this person a coffee, right? And so what we would do is we would pull that money and buy things that we need for the podcast. So in the future, Jason could use a new microphone for his home setup when we want to do Zoom.
But I thought I was getting coffee out of this.
Well, if you buy enough coffees, those little coffees add up, right?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm hoping, we could really monetize this thing and get a whole $5.
Yeah, $5 to yeah, whatever upgrades we need for this podcast
I mean,
to sustain.
I'm pretty sure we're not going to make any of our money back from this, but
Yeah, like you said, this is our creative outlet. We
well,
just
that's
do this.
really the reason why I do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I've been thinking about that. I don't know about the direction of that, and if even we want to start our own channel because there's something to like how YouTube works and.
YouTube and their stupid algorithms.
I know. I try not to think about that. I kind of my goal with this is to just kind of do what we do, and if it's successful, it's successful, and if it's not, well then, oh well, that's okay. It's already more successful than an academic paper. Academic papers never get read by anybody, and even when they do, it's usually
Who has time to read?
It's usually the person's mom, and if it does get cited, it usually gets cited in somebody's paper that their professor reads, and that's it.
Yeah.
I mean, they end up really going nowhere. I feel like to really engage in ideas, podcasts and conversations like this are a better way to do it. So we're already beating your average academic paper in the humanities for sure.
Yeah, but the thing is, you would have to be a student to read an academic paper. No average person, with little or no education at all, or whatever,
Well, it's
is going to go out of their way to read an academic paper.
Right, because it's also often behind a paywall.
And then we're not professionals, experts on things. We're just two people just expressing our opinions and beliefs and just talking just for the sake of
I like
talking.
to think I got some expertise.
I mean, you
in
of course, because you're a professor.
Well,
I'm
no,
just,
you too. I mean,
I'm just a guy who
you're
works
just a
at
cultural
Walmart.
enthusiast.
Yeah, I'm a pop culture enthusiast, I guess. Another way of saying nerd.
Right.
But yeah.
All right. So what else were we going to talk about? Oh, I did want to talk about any of the propositions that stood out to you that you really feel strongly about.
Mostly about app-based jobs because I think that's the new way of,
That's a Prop 22, right?
I think that was 22. Yeah.
Right. So my friend asked me this morning, texted
It's a
me.
new way of making money, and they're trying to make this the more difficult.
So it comes back to that AB5 law. I don't know if you heard about that one.
No, what's that one?
So the AB5 law really hit independent contractors hard last January. And it created a lot of confusion for musicians because musicians are independent contractors. And so a lot of places were worried about whether or not they were allowed to hire musicians. Even though the AB5 law was kind of pretty clear about musicians, still many people were confused because nobody really reads these things. And
I'm telling you, they don't read that as much as they don't read an academic paper.
Right, exactly. And so this one, I think it creates an exemption with some benefits for drivers, for Uber and Lyft, but it puts them in a different category too.
Yeah, I guess what is it that they want to be treated as independent contractors, or what's the issue here?
Yeah, many of them do. Many of them don't. That's the thing is many of them don't agree with one another. I almost feel like I'm a little on the fence about this prop. I almost think I might abstain from it because I feel like the people who should decide are the drivers. No?
Yeah, the drivers more than anything.
Right.
Like me, like I wouldn't do it because I have a piece of shit car. So, and then I don't like driving. Period.
And I think there's certain requirements for your model year of car that you're.
Yeah, but I do support those who are trying to make a side hustle or living.
Yeah, and so that was a challenge. Like some people wanted to stay independent contractors because they can't do it full time. They don't want to do it full time.
Yeah, it's just like a side hustle, much like
Right.
your gig.
But they should get some. They should be paid. More fairly.
Hell, I wish this podcast was my side hustle.
I know. Well, that's my goal with the OnlyFans, that we get you up there.
Okay, there's other platforms
I know.
besides OnlyFans.
I know. We're joking. We're joking. Everybody.
Yeah, then yeah.
Don't cancel
I
us.
just hope. I don't know.
Well, like I said, leave your ideas down in the comments if you want us to create an OnlyFans. You'll probably be disappointed because we probably won't do it.
Yeah, we won't do it.
Or it'll just be
Patreon
it'll
or
just be pictures of my cats, maybe.
yeah, and what you're gonna do? Charge them $10 a month, and the pictures are like what, $15 each picture to unlock.
I have no idea. Actually, I don't know anything about how this works, but we will set up different tiers, I guess, maybe. And so for $20, you get 3 pictures of a cat. And for $25, you get a picture of a cat.
Or you can go
in a
on Google
costume.
Images and just type in cats.
Oh, but they're not as cute as my cats. That's the thing. Okay, so back to Prop 22. So did you know which way you were going to vote on that one?
I hope
So
that
yes,
doesn't
so
pick up the mic.
that's okay.
Kinda burped.
So
Yeah.
yes means you keep them independent contractors. A no vote means that they fall under AB5.
Which one are you going for?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, I was on the fence.
Yeah, I think I'm on the fence too.
Oh, okay.
But I gotta look more into it before I decide.
Yeah. I mean, like I was leaning towards just abstaining from voting, which people can do. I think most people should keep that in mind, that they don't have to vote on every single item that's on their ballot.
Yeah. If it doesn't apply to me, why vote? I still haven't got my ballot.
Oh, true. But you can still look it up. You can look up the propositions ahead of time and mark what you feel. And then when you get your ballot, then you can...
No, not just that. Just if I'm ever going to receive it at all.
I hope so. Do you know where you normally go to vote, to cast your vote? Do you go to the same place every time?
I do mail-in voting.
Oh, you do mail-in?
Yeah.
Oh, that is...
I mean, isn't that what the government's trying to encourage us to do?
I think so. But I've done it before where I didn't have my ballot, or I did. But it was a mail-in ballot when I wanted to go in person. And they gave me a mail-in ballot by accident. I never signed up for a mail-in ballot. This was actually for the primaries, because when I cast my vote, and it wasn't for Joe Biden, it was for Bernie Sanders. And they let me vote. So usually you can show up and vote with I forget what they call it. I don't know if it's called a provisional or what sort of ballot it's
Oh
called.
my gosh, ballot should just be a ballot.
Yeah. But they did let me vote. So
Yeah, I'm just worried because, like, how is it that my dad and my uncle both have their ballots?
And same
Before,
address?
Same address,
That
too,
is
yeah.
weird, yeah.
Before I even got mine.
maybe they didn't use a mail-in ballot. But yeah, I would be a little worried. But if you go to the same place, you probably that's I think your best bet, which worked out for me. So
Yeah, I was hearing something on something. Supposedly, they're encouraging mail-in ballots.
So
That way we can start the voting process already.
So I did hear a
Yes.
Republican talking point on that, and I actually agreed with it. Okay, hear me out. Though,
Yeah, I'm
before,
hearing
before,
you.
Before you hate me, before you think I'm supporting Trump, I don't have
Okay.
any. I promise, listeners, there are no posters of Trump on my wall here. Okay, would you take $500 of cash, put it in an envelope, mail that envelope to yourself, and then smash it with a hammer? No, and then open up the envelope. Like, would you mail it to yourself?
No, I would keep that $500 to myself.
I know. I mean, you're gonna mail it to yourself, so you're gonna get it back. How, like, would you feel confident mailing
think this
something
is
valuable?
I don't know. I think this is
It's a Republican talking
weird
point.
analogy. Is that the analogy you was using?
Yeah, well,
Or is that the analogy you're using?
I don't know if Trump mentioned it, but I heard this. A friend of mine mentioned this,
Okay.
and I agreed with it. And I said, yeah, that my mail has been stolen or broken into like 3 times in the last year, and one of the times, I don't know if I told you this or mentioned it on the podcast. When I asked them, about my mailbox, they left a note saying I need to fix my own mailbox.
Wow.
They're like, close your damn mailbox. I mean, they really told me to F off. This was earlier in the year, before the whole Democrat Republican thing. And I'm a Democrat. But I have to say, that argument seems to me really compelling. So I would say if people want to make sure their vote gets counted, if they want to make sure that Trump gets removed from office, make sure to vote. And I would urge people to vote in person if they can and if they feel safe doing
I mean,
it.
yeah, we all have our reasons to vote.
Right.
But I think the reason why I'm not saying, okay, I'm going to be blunt about this. I don't like Trump for the obvious reasons. He's obviously against immigration, Latinos, and whatnot. So for that very reason, I vote for the other party.
Right.
Well, I don't want a racist asshole running the country. It's that plain and simple. I don't really care for Biden either, like I said.
No, I'm
Earlier.
not a big fan either.
Yeah, so
I like to
like
call
I
him
said,
Sleepy
voting
Joe.
like it was said in South Park in like one of like earlier episodes that like voting is like voting between a douchebag and a turd sandwich.
Well, there's that argument too that if you vote, you can't complain. No, wait. If you don't vote, you can't complain. Could
And
go
then
either
they'll
way.
say that your vote won't matter either way.
But it could. There are cases where it can and does matter. It's the only thing you really got, so you might as well use it.
Yeah, use it, but
How many people would wish they could vote? Think about those people who aren't allowed to vote.
yeah, I know.
Or
I
impacted.
know some people.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Me too. Yeah.
But so I'll vote on their behalf and whatnot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of divide right now in the country.
Oh, absolutely. So,
It's because of one man and his rhetoric, and it's just I don't know. He's like this. He's dangerously incompetent. I don't think he's up to the task. I mean, what has Trump done to stop COVID? That could be a whole nother episode in itself.
that could be. I would say though, sometimes I don't think that it's like there would be 0 deaths if Sanders had been elected last presidential cycle. Like there'd still be some deaths.
I mean, yeah, that's gonna be deaths regardless. But I feel like
I do think there are lots of things Trump got wrong, especially with testing. With some of it wasn't Trump, some of it was the World Health Organization. Also, there are a lot of problems with how.
but he's not setting a good example. Or like,
No, not at all.
Oh, look, I'm like 3 days, not even like 3 days afterwards. He was quarantined or whatever, isolated. He's out and about, just talking and not wearing his mask,
Yeah.
defiantly taking off his mask in front of the crowds in one of the rallies and whatnot.
Well, I mean, that's a great reason to vote for Democrats. Is that look, we're in the middle of a pandemic. Every industrialized nation offers minimum health care to people. We could do the same. And and I think that alone is a good reason to vote for Democrats. I would make my conservative argument. A lot of conservatives feel like I don't want to. I don't like the idea of wealth redistribution, right? And let's say you think that it doesn't tend to work, but it's almost undeniable that things aren't fair for people. So healthcare is a way of doing a form of wealth redistribution to raise the bar of the minimum quality of life for everybody without actually just giving people money, right? Although there's an argument, even most conservatives who want a stimulus package. I think Trump really effed up.
Oh yeah, don't get me started with the stimulus package.
Well, no, actually, I don't mind. Let's hear it.
Okay, but yeah, when is it?
Well, he said it was going to be after his election, right?
Of course, he's gonna make it about himself more than about us people who are in need.
So don't you
He's
think
just using it as a bargaining chip to help further his political gain.
I actually thought he effed that up because if you wanted people to vote for him, wouldn't it behoove him to give them money?
Yeah, I mean, give me the money, but let him think I'm voting for him, but I'm not.
Yeah.
That's if he knows who I am.
Right.
But,
And then there was another thing that Trump really I don't know if he messed up with it, but he just is a dishonest guy. The whole taxes thing, the evading taxes.
oh, $750.
Yeah. And I got to watch the legal
Not
Eagle
thousands, $750, like $750.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Literally, that's it. So he probably pays less taxes than most of you who are listening. And so there's a Legal Eagle episode.
Eagle.
Yeah, it's a YouTube channel that goes over the legality that goes through his taxes.
Sounds familiar. Yeah, I think I heard of it.
You should watch it. I've heard about it. I've yet to watch it, but apparently I hear it's really good and goes in depth on it in a better way than I could.
Yeah.
Okay, so should we move on to the Lakers?
Oh, yeah. I almost forgot about that. I'm so wrapped up in politics. Thank God we're done talking about that, right? Yeah, go Lakers. Damn, it's been 10 years since they won their last championship.
Yeah, so there's some cool stuff with that. So apparently, for most playoff games, I heard this conspiracy theory that the reason why the Lakers lost Game 5 was that by playing one more game, LeBron surpassed Derek Fisher for most playoff games, a record. What do you think about that?
What do you think they purposely choked just so they can break a record?
That's what I heard. Although Derek Fisher, it's like he used to be one of my favorite players, but he's not exactly like your top 10 greats. Yeah. Maybe top 10 great role players, maybe, but top 10 greats, no. It's amazing that he's played in the most playoff games. He surpassed Kobe, but I had forgotten about his time with OKC. I'm happy the Lakers won, and they're finally, turning around the culture.
Yeah, and then Kobe's looking down on them, with a smile on his face.
Well, yeah, maybe. I mean, I
know your belief on that, yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying...
I like to kill everybody's joy.
Yeah. Yeah, we know about your beliefs. Or at least I know about your beliefs. The viewers don't. Well, I'm just saying in the generic sense.
Yeah, I gotcha. I mean, it makes people.
Maybe it's like fans. Dragon Ball Z. It's Goku up in the sky looking down.
So you like Dragon Ball?
Are we really gonna start that joke right now, right here and right now?
No. All right.
You know what? We should have a joke segment.
Yeah.
We start off every podcast with a joke. The joke of the week or something.
Right, maybe. Well, it's just okay. Going back to Lakers, I think it's something that impacts a lot of fans. A lot of people have been waiting a long time for the Lakers to just even make the playoffs, right? And it's a testament to how good LeBron is because he took a team that
King James.
They didn't even make the playoffs last year, right? Because he was injured. And then the year before that, they didn't make the playoffs. It
goes to show you how valuable one person in the team is.
Right, yeah. Although they also acquired Anthony Davis. I'm not a huge Clippers fan. I don't know about you.
No, that's why they were clipped off from.
But we do
else.
have.
No pun intended.
Did you go to Cloverdale? Where did you go to elementary school? Here in Rona Valley.
Wait, back up. What?
Oh, because Kawhi Leonard. I don't know if you know this. Kawhi Leonard, the player for the Clippers, he went to Cloverdale.
The fuck is Cloverdale?
I was asking. Cloverdale is the elementary school by
where?
Right by Palm Middle School.
No, I've never been there.
Oh, where did you go?
You talk about elementary?
Elementary school.
Oh my god, I've been everywhere. It's up there. Been to Pachapa, Alcott, Magnolia, Pachapa, and Alcott again. I don't know. I'm not sure if it's necessarily in that order, but yeah.
Oh, so okay. Well, apparently Kawhi Leonard grew up in the area, but I just wasn't a fan of how he didn't, kind of just that way that he turned the Lakers down. He sort of waited to the last minute, almost as if he was trying to sabotage the Lakers. But he was a good player, and it was considered like one of the biggest chokes of the NBA because they were expected to be the better team compared to the Lakers, but they didn't make it. So.
Oh, that's so sad.
Oh wait, just that? Hold on. What's going on?
Oh, my girlfriend's sending me emoji kisses.
Oh.
Love you too, babe.
All right. So was that it for Lakers, or did you want to add any more there?
Hopefully another 10 years consecutive champions.
Well, they could be next year, maybe. I mean, LeBron James is getting really old for basketball.
What year did he start it again? When did he finally start it in his NBA career?
I don't know when he started, but I mean, he's 35 right now, and so that means he's going to be 36 next year, right?
Oh, okay.
And how old was Kobe when he retired?
41. Oh, wait, no, wait before that. No, 40 when he unfortunately passed away.
Right. But he was in his 17th. I think LeBron's in his 17th season. So.
Well, same thing with Michael Jordan. How old was he before he retired?
Well, see, Jordan is a weird case because he retired kind of still in his peak. I think he was 36.
Yeah. You like if you watch.
But he was still winning.
Did we talk about the Last Dance on?
No, we never got to. So, and apologies to listeners. We skipped a lot of episodes and a lot of content that we were planning to discuss. It's just life happened.
Life happens. Life is life.
Right.
And life happens.
But if we had a little bit of fan supportage. I'm just joking.
Yeah.
No, we were going to talk about The Last Dance, but we never did. But right, you remember he took that whole year off in the middle, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he won 6 championships with the Bulls. He took a year off in the middle, and then he retired after that when they were still a really good team. They could have won one or two
but
more.
it's all backstage politics.
Right. And Lakers had a similar thing where Shaq and Kobe could have
Because
won.
what's the name of that
more.
short guy, Jerry, whatever?
I don't remember.
That guy, he had a thing against.
I know what you're talking about. I just don't remember
against the
his name.
coach, Phil Jackson. Yeah.
Right.
I don't know. Like, why break up a good team if you're winning? I guess that power went over his head.
Yeah, I would say give him a chance.
The guy who owned the Bulls.
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy.
Well, something similar happened with Kobe and Shaq, where Kobe and Shaq could have won maybe 2 more rings. The problem was that they traded Robert Horry. Any team that has Robert Horry would have won. And you know why?
Why is that?
He would have hip-checked them, the main star of the other team, into the stands.
Yeah.
I call him a cheap shot, Rob.
Cheap shot, Rob.
I don't know if you know what I'm talking about.
No, I don't, because I'm not not as big a
You're not a
basketball
enthusiast.
Enthusiast, yeah. You're more the academic music.
So there's this
and
guy,
basketball.
Steve Nash. He's a Canadian.
Yeah,
Really good
I know.
player. He was just killing it one year, and his team was just killing it. They were clearly going to beat the San Antonio Spurs. This is the year that that Robert Horry got traded, I believe, to them. And Robert Horry checks him as if he's playing hockey. I mean, it's completely different. It's out of the culture of the sport. And he hip checks Steve Nash.
Hip checks. You keep saying that. What does it mean exactly?
So that means to basically push somebody with your body.
Okay, I thought that's what it meant.
But
elbow someone,
not
maybe?
just elbow, just really using your full body to push them off the court. So, and it was a point at which he did want to draw a foul.
Sounds
There's
like a
way-
wrestling move to me, but yeah.
So when you intentionally, yeah, exactly. And it's basketball. When you intentionally foul somebody in basketball, usually you kind of already tell the refs you're going to foul them, and the refs usually know that you're going to foul them intentionally at these points in the game. It's clear what's going to happen. And then usually they'll wrap their arms around the person. They won't throw them down to the ground. So Robert Horry throws Steve Nash to the ground. And this ended up working out because Robert Horry, while he was a great role player, he wasn't a star. And so Robert Horry gets kicked out of the next game, I believe. But 3 or 4 of the other guys on the other team, because they stepped off the bench, got not only ejected, but I believe they got suspended from the next, I think it was 3 games, 2 or 3 games, just for that.
And all of a
Not even
sudden, I
fighting.
think I'm listening to ESPN here.
Well, it's kind of a. Oh, yeah, I don't know how I got into this. This is one of my
Oh,
favorite.
because we were talking about Lakers and then basketball in general.
Yeah, it's just one of my favorite memories
Yeah.
of basketball.
Oh, yeah.
because-
Whatever happened to Dwight Howard?
Oh, he won.
He won?
Yeah, he got a ring.
Wow.
You know, that guy.
He's still in the Lakers, right?
He's still in the Lakers.
What team was he in before?
Well, he was with Orlando when he was good.
Uh-huh.
Then he went to the Lakers, and that was sort of his downfall. Then he went to the Rockets, and then he was traded to like many teams. And nobody thought he would be playing. He was almost out of the NBA this year. And he was an integral part to their success this year. He was a good player this year. He ended up starting a lot of games too.
It's funny how you talk about these games and yet you don't watch any of them.
Well, I watched some of them, but not the full things because I don't.
You just watch highlights, right?
Yeah, I don't
'Cause-
subscribe to the what is the NBA League Pass yet.
well, you can watch it on YouTube TV if you subscribe to it.
Yeah, I gotta subscribe to one of those thingamabobbers. Yeah, one of these days. Now that the Lakers are good again, maybe there's more incentive.
Let's only watch sports when our teams are doing good, right?
No, if they weren't so expensive, I would definitely check them out. You know,
We'll just bandwagon the winning team.
except the Clippers though. I'm not a Clippers fan.
Clippers, no. I mean, that's just another LA team. That's just a derivative.
Yeah,
knockoff.
they sort
I
of
don't
just imploded though, man. They were supposed to win it this year. They were supposed to be the better team.
know. Oh my gosh, it reminds me of that. It was like that movie with Will Ferrell, and he's like, "Guess what? I'm a Clippers fan."
I don't know this.
It was like a TV adaptation of Bewitched,
Was that?
Or-
I remember. Okay, I remember that.
and he's like, "I'm a Clippers fan."
I think that was
And they made fun of him in Family Guy, and then Stu just comes over to
You know
his
what?
house and he's
That one
like,
and the-
"That's not funny."
that one and the Watch movie are probably my least favorite Will Ferrell movies.
The watch Stranger Than Fiction.
Yeah,
That was because it was supposed to be more of a serious role.
yeah.
Not where he's acting his crazy, wild,
Yeah.
extra self.
The most recent one, the what was it? Fire Saga. Adventure?
Eurovision.
Yeah, that was
Still
pretty
haven't
good.
seen it. I need to watch that.
you gotta watch it. It's
Supposedly
really
Laura
good.
watched it without me. What the heck, Laura?
Well, you want to know what I realized is, that's funny. She watched it that. What I realized as a cultural shift and just a mental shift, had that come out to a movie, a DVD, back in the day. Back in the day.
Oh, I mean, they used to have direct-to-DVD movies?
No, I mean just like
Or direct-to-video movies? Or what do you mean?
no. I just mean like when we used to own DVDs and we used to put them in something and watch them. I would have probably, because I like that movie, I probably would have watched it. I've only watched it once. Probably would have watched it more than once. And I probably would have watched like the director's commentary and all that other stuff. You know what I mean? Like back in the day, didn't you used to watch things more than once?
Yeah, I used to watch movies that I really liked. I own and watched it more than once.
Yeah.
If it's a movie I'm probably going to watch one time, I'll just watch it that one time.
Okay, so now that streaming is a thing,
Yeah.
do you watch movies and shows more than once?
If it's something I really, really like, then I'll watch it more than once. Like, I've probably seen the original John Wick more than one time, maybe like
Okay.
8-10 times already. I probably lost count, but yet I still don't own that on DVD. But apparently you can download a digital copy of your favorite movie and then just rewatch it. You don't have to have it physically.
Right.
Yeah.
But so do you feel like you do that as much like you used to? I feel like that's changed for me.
That's changed for me. I mean, it's a pain to take care of DVDs because then you have to worry about not getting it scratched or broken and whatnot.
Yeah. And do you miss at Walmart when they have those big bins? that
They
people-
still have those big bins. What are you talking about?
I don't know. I don't look in them.
Watch this holiday season if there is going to be one.
I know because then everybody's sticking their COVID fingers in there, right?
Yeah, I don't know if we're going to have Black Friday this year. Sorry, people.
Well, they shouldn't call it Black Friday.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the name itself. I know that sounds kind of racist, huh?
I'm kind of joking, but yeah.
Yeah.
I've heard some stuff, man, recently that it's gone that far.
Okay, well, let's not go there then.
Okay.
Okay, let's not call. Let's call it what it is. Holiday Consumer Day.
Yeah. Forget
Corporate Holiday
corporate
Consumer
greed
Day.
day.
Yeah, let's call it for what it really is.
Right.
Hold on. Laura is texting me about the podcast. I'm doing it right now.
Well, maybe that's a good time to.
Yeah, maybe it's a good time to wrap this up. I think we already milked this cow dry, don't you think?
I don't get it.
That means no milk is coming out of the cow.
Oh, okay.
That means we juiced out everything we could for this episode, and that's it.
Hey, Don't drink milk. You're not a 300-pound cow. No, I don't know.
No, I'm not. I'm not saying I'm the fucking cow. I mean,
No, I something I heard, like a vegan thing.
no. Well, none of us are vegans, thank God. And by the way, that was an
Thank
awesome
Darwin.
burger you made.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it. So Jason and I mean, we haven't seen each other in a good minute.
Yeah, because of fucking COVID. And
Yeah.
now, like we said, we're back in the studio.
Yeah, socially distancing, but we're back, and hopefully
Do you
we'll
have a
do.
tape measure? I want to make sure I'm 6 feet apart.
I think you're at least there.
All right.
Yeah. So we will say goodbye and
Goodbye,
thank you for
and
listening.
we'll probably have an episode after Election Day. Who
Yeah,
knows?
stay happy and healthy, and yes, we will talk about our post-election thoughts.
Yeah.
Go Biden.
Yeah. Not really, though, right?
Not really, but still.
I mean,
Sleepy Joe.
yeah, let's just go for the lesser evil, guys.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. All right. Peace.